Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Well, a little bit different episode today. I figured, you know, after Christmas we ain't got a whole lot to do, so why not load up the trailer, hook it up to the truck, drive 4,000 miles, go pick up our beautiful 500 stroker engine along with a brand new project car. So it's gonna be a long couple days, but I'm pretty stoked. She's pretty excited about it too, and join us for the ride. Alright, you guys, so we're just getting on the road here in Ogden, Utah, and I think in total it's what, 40 hours?
Yeah.
This whole trip. It's going to be a long couple days, but we've got some big things we're trying to do this week. So number one, we're actually driving from here straight down to Lone Oak, Arkansas to see my good friend Mopar Joe. So over the last month or 2 months or so, been slowly building a 500 stroker, which initially was actually supposed to be for the Charger, but I think now, especially seeing how the engine turned out, we are going to most likely put that engine into the Ratty Saddy and have Joe build another stroker, most likely a bigger one, because of course we'd have to do that for the Charger whenever that gets back from paint. So if you haven't done so yet, definitely check out Joe's channel and his build series on that engine, because I think he made like 640 horse and close to 700 foot-pounds of torque. So it's going to be an absolute monster of an engine, and I can't wait to finally meet him for the first time, and also to get that thing in my hands and get home and get it into the car. After that, I'm going to keep you guys guessing a little bit. Toss some guesses below into the comments as far as what you guys think the next build's going to be. But I'll tell you the story once we get a little bit closer. But a really cool car that I've frankly always wanted, and excited to be bringing it to the channel, so stay tuned for that. So good thing is weather is somewhat cooperating. We're trying to beat a big storm out of Utah and Wyoming today. The bad news is I didn't pack a single toiletry item or sunglasses. What else did I forget? Anything else?
No, those are the important things. I've learned to pack you next time.
Yeah, I need some help packing. So I was focused on getting the trailer ready, getting the tools ready, getting everything else ready, and apparently forgot everything else. Oh my god, I don't have socks.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Oh my god.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to buckle in. It's going to be a long day. Like I said, we're trying to drive 12, 13 hours today. We've got about 9 hours or so tomorrow to get to Joe in Arkansas. And man, a whole lot of nothing between now and then going across Wyoming and Nebraska. So we'll see you guys at the next truck stop. Alright, you guys, we'll fast forward about 20 hours or so, and now we're in Lone Oak, Arkansas, and we're going to go see our good buddy Mopar Joe. So, yeah, running a little bit behind on time. Unfortunately, ran into a whole bunch of weather in Wyoming, and so, yeah, pretty much had to drive the thing straight through, stop for a short bit in Lincoln, Nebraska, I believe, and then bombed it straight down here. And as soon as we get the engine loaded up, we're headed to go pick up the car. So let's go see Joe. All right, guys, so I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mopar Joe, YouTube sensation. Built us this absolutely beautiful 500 stroker motor.
We got to tell the people it's a 499, but it's a 500.
499.
But I call it a 500 because I feel like that's a better round number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's a beast, kind of. And it's, if you zoom in on the heads, we can tell the world. These heads aren't supposed to make the kind of power and torque they did. But it really kicked butt. So We got a good combination here, I think.
640 horse.
And 682 foot-pounds.
Jesus.
Yep.
It's going to be a monster. It's definitely going to take the Sadie to a new level.
But I have videos of the dyno, and we tested a different intake too, if they want to look at it on my YouTube channel.
Yep, so we've got the Edelbrock Torquer 383 on here now, and you tested it with the Performer RPM, right?
Yeah.
Definitely check out his video on that to see how the two intakes match up to each other.
Oh yeah, it's coming up soon.
Yep. And if you guys want to see a full build on this entire engine, start to finish, definitely check out Mopar Joe's channel.
I got it all there.
Cool. And you're on Instagram?
I am on Instagram and TikTok.
Beautiful.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, if you need an engine build or anything like that, definitely reach out. His channel is definitely one of the best with Mopar engine tech. So, super stoked, man. Can't wait to get it in the Sadie. And, man, we got to get this thing loaded up so we can go get a car.
You want to show them a big engine?
All right, fine. You're going to make me buy another motor, man. What are you doing?
I can't sell this one because it's not mine, but this was 800 horse 572.
Jeez.
And he wants more than that, so we're going to make it better.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do with this one on your channel? Full tear down, build, everything?
Yeah, full down, tear down, go through everything. He wants the head work done. We go back together and then dyno. So it'll be a fun dyno series.
What are your goals for this one, horsepower wise? He
wants 830. I think it should do more. Like I'd like to see 850 or something because it's
good lord.
Well, it's closer to a 580 because it's been bored. So if we can go 1.5 per cube, I mean we want to see it all.
Jesus.
Got 1150 Dominator. It's a nice piece.
1150. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
That's massive.
It's gonna be fun. And then that one's the 512 with the Trick Flow 240 is getting built too. So
awesome.
The people want to know and see it.
Yep.
Everything's ready on.
And so we made 640 and 685, right?
Yep.
And what do you think this one's going to do? 512.
It's got a little better head and 2 more points of compression, and it'll be E85. I'd like to see 700 both ways. But, and don't forget your AMSOIL. Dave probably has a link to that.
Yeah, nice little plug. I'll throw a link below for some AMSOIL. Get you guys some discounts. But man, I'm gonna end up spending more money if I stay in here any longer. So we're gonna get the engine loaded up. Thank you, brother, so much, so much for the help. And yeah, can't wait to get this thing going.
Tell T-Bone we missed him.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got to call T-Bone here in a second. So let's get this motor loaded up and get back on the road and start heading to Nashville to go pick up the new car. All right, guys, so we got all loaded up and now we are back on the road and heading kind of northeast. We're heading up to Nashville. So I'll go ahead and spill the beans about the car, tell you guys a little bit of the story behind it. So going back maybe 3 weeks or so ago, I had a subscriber comment on one of the videos for the Superbird tribute and said, hey, you need to reach out to Kevin Shaw from Mopar Connection Magazine. He's got a 1970 Dodge Super Bee for sale, and it looks like it's, you know, something that might be right up my alley. And so I've always wanted to have a Super Bee. I know there's a few of you guys rolling your eyes. Believe me, I got another one in here doing it too. But no, I've always loved the 1970 Super Bee, the look of it, the front, you know, the bumpers, everything. It looks absolutely killer. And this one comes with a really cool story. And I don't want to say it's like a famous car or an internet famous car, but it's definitely well known. And it goes by the name of ZOMBEE. And it's been written about now for a better part, I think, like 6 to 8 years. And I'll let Kevin tell the story of it when we get there. But no, this car definitely needs a whole lot of help, and it's going to need some metal work, but I have some really cool ideas for it. Got an engine for it, got suspension for it, got everything that basically I would need to get it back on the road and turn it into a really fun race car. So we've got 350 miles roughly, so another 5 hours roughly in the car, and we're going to be there later this afternoon to pick up the Super Bee. So can't wait. Alrighty guys, well, we made it, and you may see a familiar face here. Mr. Kevin Shaw, editor-in-chief from Mopar Connection Magazine.
Hi, I'm glad you made it. Safe travels.
Yep, we're about 2,000 miles in now. So before we take a look at the best looking car here, let's go ahead and look at, we've got a Hellcat over there, 69 Charger. Oh. We got a cup of cold brews, 70 Roadrunner. Is that a 72?
Satellite.
73 CUDA up on the lift. So some pretty awesome stuff here. But let's go ahead and take a walk around here, the 70B, the ZOMBEE. If you could, man, I know there's a bunch of videos out there on it, but maybe kind of give us an overview of the history of it. Sure. I know you've had it for a while.
Right. And so many moons ago, we had a really great guy who was working with the magazine, a really neat kid named Gavin Wollenberg. And Gavin had a really cool 392 Hemi, Gen 3 Hemi in a 72 Dart Swinger that he'd autocrossed. But his dad was super old school, a guy named Jeff. And Jeff Wollenberg loved 70 Coronets. He had a 70 RT that was super rat rotted out, license plates, stop signs that patched the whole car together. Anyone who's been to Mopar Nationals, guaranteed you've seen Jeff and you've seen his Coronet. Well, I was talking with Jeff, this is back in like 2015, 2016, and he says, hey, I got a B. I go, you do? And he goes, yeah, I got a 70B. And I said, all right, well, let's go check it out. Well, it had been sitting out in a farmer's field forever. And he dragged it in. He put it on some loaner tires. And the car was, I say complete, but it really wasn't complete. But the problem was that it just had continued to rot out in the snow. And the deadly combination of just being out in the elements in Ohio, have been driven for years out on salty roads in Ohio. I would have had better luck probably piecing together the Edmund Fitzgerald. It was pretty rough.
Speaking of cars from Ohio, that's where the 68 Charger came from.
Really?
There was kind of a water line, like let's say middle of the headlights, that was completely rusted to the bottom of the car. So.
Well, I kept trying to talk you out of this thing.
I know.
So, but one of the things that was, I would say, added the most character to this car was, we believe, just through some forensic digging, that this might have been, I won't say a moonshine runner, but it might have been some other paraphernalia. And I'll show you where it was. The best side's the driver's side, just because the door actually closes there. But in another video, we showed that somebody very enterprising had taken probably a cutting wheel and had taken out the whole inner structure underneath the pop-out windows, and the door cards that were in here, which were completely separated and rotted apart, there was literally no clips holding in the side, so that you could, as the driver, you could slide your arm back in there and reach inside of the quarter to grab whatever baggie that you had hiding in there, or mason jar, or whatever they had.
I'm normally reaching into the back seat to steal fruit snacks or something from the kids,
well,
but these were not fruit snacks.
This is a whole different kind of treat. So unfortunately, it just compounded one thing after another. And as a magazine car, we try to, magazine's a little bit different than, say, the usual just content creator. We're trying to highlight a lot of manufacturers' products. We're trying to, illustrate to the reader or illustrate to the viewer, if we're doing a video, what are some options for product and parts that are out there. Really our, the whole purpose of a magazine is really to introduce you guys to products that are out there that could hopefully be within your budget and get your car back on the road. And the 70B falls into that unfortunate category of being a one-off year. There's just not a lot of product for it. Mm-hmm. Thankfully, being a B body, a lot of, obviously your floor pans, your trunk, your wheel wells, your firewall, a lot of the stuff AMD did have. And thankfully, as you noted, the subframes are good. So we were really happy with that. But there was just a lot of metal work that wasn't supported by AMD. That would just require a lot of just custom one-off. And as you walk around, you'll see it's just like, hey, we had to find a rear tail panel, and we had to find a trunk lid, and we had to find certain things, and it just got out of hand. As I was telling you earlier, we've had multiple false starts. We were thinking, hey, we're just gonna build a 440 for it, and just, you know, an 833 and bang the gears, and that'll be it. And we'll do a General Mayhem build, and we'll go in the dirt, and we'll do that. And then all of a sudden Mopar got involved, and they said, well, what if we gave you a red eye engine? And I said, that would change everything. And so suddenly that whole project changed, and it just spiraled.
Where did you hide that Mopar engine at?
Yeah, I know.
Is it back here somewhere?
Wouldn't that been nice?
Well, it definitely needs a bit of work, man, but
Certainly.
I think these are, and you see it too, I mean, these are a car that either you love it or hate it. And I think it's grown on me over time, especially, but man, that front end is just something else. And
I've seen them set up, man. I've seen some that are tucking some really cool tire and have a really neat stance. And if you're going to do a straight strip build, or if you're going to race it, or if you're going to autocross it, there's just a lot of potential within this car. It's just the uniqueness of the design. I'm not saying I don't love it. Obviously, I had it for 8 years, but with so many other projects that we're involved in, this one was just going to suck up so much oxygen in the room that it really needed, frankly, it needed someone who loved it, who could, I make the joke, if you don't sneak out in your pajamas at like 1 in the morning and flip on the lights in your garage, or outside and pull the car cover off and just stare at the car, you're not in love with it. And I wanted someone who was gonna sneak out in their PJs and just stare at the car for hours. And all of a sudden my inbox started blowing up, and I couldn't say no to a guy who was frothing at the mouth to get his hands on it. So I knew it was a good fit.
Yep, we drove well, almost 4,000 miles round trip to come get it, so definitely want it. I'm in love with it. I'm excited to get going on this thing. And as you guys can see, this is going to be one hell of a build. This is originally 383 column shift car.
383 column shift. It was what they called either sand pebble beige, or just beige, just tan.
And I know you love yellow cars. Yellow.
Oh yeah, and the paler the yellow. Anyway, and it had the burnt orange interior. You can still see a little bit of the paint on the top halves of the doors. But it was a bench seat.
Yeah, it's almost a cream color that's faded, like a faded limelight,
it's really
almost.
More of a khaki, like a,
yeah,
you know,
that's a better word for it.
And nothing's more exciting than khaki. So,
and it's a post car too.
It is a post car. It did have the what I lovingly denigrate as the pig snout scoop.
Bulge hood.
The
right?
bulge hood,
yeah. Yep.
It looks like a pig snout to me, and I was like, ugh.
So unfortunately, there's no red eyes in here.
No.
But it's a fairly decent looking engine bay, though. We don't have to swap out inner aprons. I think those will stay.
No, your inner apron should be good. The lower
Firewall,
half of the firewall is where you're going to see that corrosion. We do have a replacement firewall if you want to just, you know, take what you need off of it.
Yep.
Or you could replace the whole thing if you're feeling froggy. But
I get a little froggy with these, man. I'm known to cut them in half and put them back together.
Well, the nice thing is you know, I saw your frame table and you're working on that bird, and I was like, okay, all right, he's the right guy. He's the right guy.
Well, I'm excited to have it, and honestly, it might sound silly, but I'm honored to take it off your hands, and you'll get to see it built.
Oh,
so I'm excited, man.
My biggest thing was that I just didn't want this car to languish or to be crushed.
Yeah.
And it's still a Super B. It's still a pedigree car. It still needs to be saved. Even if you know, paint it the way you want and modify it the way you want, the car's still on the road. And that was the biggest thing for me. And I don't care if it's any brand, it doesn't have to just be Mopar, but you know, keep the cars, man. Just I hate these cars. I hate to see that these cars are vanished.
Yep. Awesome. Well, it'll definitely fit in with the other builds that we got on the channel, and what my backyard currently looks like. I've got a parking lot in the backyard, which if you ever make it out to Utah, definitely can come check it out.
Oh,
but,
most definitely.
Man, well, I know we got some work to do loading it up. We're running out of daylight, so again, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much, man.
Hey, thank you, man.
Okay, we're gonna get it loaded up and get back on the road, and I'll fill you guys in on all the plans for this car. Alrighty, you guys, well, after we got everything loaded up at Kevin's place, we ended up making a straight run to Lansing, Michigan, as well as Chicago to go see family and ring in the new year, and it was absolutely awesome seeing everybody. We surprised everyone. We didn't tell anyone we were going on this road trip, so really, really cool to see the surprised look on all their faces when we pulled up, and even more so to see the crazy looks I got when I had another car in the trailer. So I'm happy to report the car made it back, the engine made it back, and we made it back after cannonballing 20 straight hours yesterday from Chicago all the way here. But we're trying to beat a snowstorm. We're supposed to get a few inches of snow today and didn't want to make a 20-hour drive turn into a 30-hour drive because I unfortunately have had that happen before, and it's not fun, especially pulling a trailer. So in the next few weeks, guys, you get to look forward to a whole lot of stuff. Number one, we're going to finish up the Superbird tribute build for my good friend Jeremy. We're going to get that down to his place in San Diego. We've also got to get the Sadie back in the shop, get the engine out of that car because we're putting the 500 stroker in that just in time for the muscle cars at the Strip event in Las Vegas in the beginning of March. So you can definitely look forward to that. I mean, I'm so excited to get this engine in there. It's, I mean, 200 horsepower more, probably, roughly, than what's in it now. And it's going to be at a whole different level. So can't wait to see that in the car. We've also got the Charger coming back from paint here, hopefully in just a couple weeks. So you get to look forward to that. And a lot of you guys are probably wondering, what are we doing with the Super Bee? So this car has a huge following. There's already a great story behind it. I cannot wait to be the one to finish this car and to get it race ready. And I'm hoping to do all the metal, suspension, brakes, engine, transmission, all the work, have it race ready by Holly Mo Party in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And I was about to say next September, but this September, because now it's 2025, but got to have that done here in the next few months. And God, I cannot wait to get behind the wheel of this car and see it on the road. And most importantly, to share it all with you guys, because I think a lot of you guys will really enjoy it. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun to build. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get changed, get ready to work. I'll leave you all with a nice little montage of driving through Utah yesterday, because the snow on the mountains in the winter is just absolutely gorgeous. I love this place. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Take care. I'll see y'all again real soon.